Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy Hard8, the truth for YouTube, your favorite commentator's favorite commentator. Yeah! What's up, people? What's happening? You already know the deal. If you missed the video I put up yesterday, go check it out. It's my top 5 games of 2015. So go check it out. The link will be down in the description. You dig? And the link for everything else will be down in the description. Now, real quick, apparently, a lot of y'all don't follow me on social media, things like Facebook or Twitter. So, with that being said, I have to, I guess, fill y'all in on why my videos have been pretty poor in quality lately. Well, first of all, I don't have a working PC. Don't have one. PC is out of commission right now. And in order to get it back into working order, I'm going to need about $500. You dig? $500 that I just don't have right now due to other obligations. In fact, I just dropped a nice amount, or we, because I don't live alone, you know, me and my significant other, just dropped a nice amount of money on some other things we needed around this motherfucker. And I just can't afford to get everything I need to have this PC to be back to where it needs to be. You dig what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm stuck making videos using Share Factory on the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? Now, somebody left a comment like, oh, what's going on with this intro? Oh, you're getting lazier and lazier. Like, what the fuck? Listen, this is all I got to work with. I'm sorry. Now, Share Factory seems to fuck up the sound when you render because I am using my Blue microphone. You can use your Blue microphone on the PlayStation 4. So after Share Factory renders the video, some reason the sound just does not sound the same as when I'm looking and listening right before I render it. So I'm sorry. This is all I gotta fucking work with. If it's that much of a problem to you, then send me a motherfucking PC. You dig? Other than that, you're going to have to deal with this. Can you hear me? Can you understand me, motherfucker? So that's all that shit matter. But yeah, shit fucked up right now as far as the PC go. And this is what I'm, this is what I got to use. So now people can ask, oh, and this is another reason why I won't be on the Weapon Wheel podcast until further notice. You know what I mean? So you don't have to hit me up and let me know that the show sucks without me and things like that. That's cool. You know what I mean? Whatever. But I'm sorry. I won't be there for a while until I can get the things that I need. And right now, I got other obligations. I'm sorry. I'm not rich. I don't got $20,000 of mythical money sitting on my desk. You dig? I just don't have it. So it is what it is. This is what I'm fucking reduced to. You know what I mean? So as long as you can understand what the fuck I'm saying, that should be enough. But, you know, if you still want to complain, then go right ahead and complain. Now, on to the video. Yeah, so after I just said all that, I'm still probably going to have people hit me up. Why aren't you on the Weapon Wheel podcast? What's going on with this intro? What's up with the sound? Listen, it's not my fault. This is all I got to work with. All right, so to the video. So I've been seeing lately that it seems a single player only game at $60 seems to be just fine, but a multiplayer only game at $60 seems to be a problem. I mean, it's been a problem for a while, but I've been really like noticing it lately, and I really thought about it, and I was like, I don't get why one is okay over the other if that's the way you feel. I mean, because in my opinion, you can get way more, way more time out of a multiplayer game than you would a single player game. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people complain about Titanfall being multiplayer only. People complained about Star Wars Battlefront, Rainbow Six Siege, and a few other games that are multiplayer only. But they don't complain about single player games like Batman Arkham Knight, Bloodborne, Rise of the Tomb Raider. All of these games were $60, and all of these games only gave you a handful of playtime. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you can play a game over and over again, but how much are you really going to keep playing the same single player over and over? You understand what I'm saying? Like Rise of the Tomb Raider, you can beat that very quickly. Unless you want to go back and find collectibles and try to pad your time, it can be over very quickly. I think BG beat it in like a few days and had his review out by the time the game launched. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with Bloodborne. You know, you can beat that fairly quickly. You know what I mean? Depending on your skill level and how fast you adapt and things like that, you can beat that game pretty fast. And once you're done, you're done. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with Batman Arkham Knight. I mean, I believe I got more time in Star Wars Battlefront than I put in Batman Arkham Knight, and I got like a 98% completion on Batman Arkham Knight. I did everything except run around collecting them dumbass Riddler trophies. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, people say things like, you know, Star Wars is not worth the price, not worth the 60, or a multiplayer only game is not worth 60. I beg to differ because I put way more hours into multiplayer games than I ever did any single player game. I mean, when you look at games like Max Payne 3, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Far Cry 3, the original of the 2013 Tomb Raider, all of those games had a multiplayer and a single player. And I put far more hours into the multiplayer than I did the single player. Like, it doesn't even compare. So I don't understand why some people think that a single player only game at 60 is worth it, but a multiplayer only game at 60 is not. Now, you do have the exception of a few single-player games that will net you hundreds of hours. We're talking about like Bethesda games, you know, The Witcher 3, and shit like that. But how many single-player games really can you get 100 hours out of? There's not a lot. You know what I mean? But plenty of multiplayer games, you can easily get that if you are into the multiplayer game, if you like the game. Now, I'm talking about games that you actually like. I mean, if you don't like a single-player game, you're not going to play it. If you don't like a multiplayer game, you're not going to play it. You understand what I'm saying? But if you like a multiplayer game, you're going to get far more hours out of the multiplayer than you would a single-player game. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you love the single player, even if you thought the single player was great, you know, you're just going to get more hours out of it. GTA 5, I thought the single player was fantastic, amazing. I fucking loved it, right? But I got way more hours out of that multiplayer. You feel what I'm saying? So I just don't understand the double standard here. Like, oh, single player at 60 is fine. When some games you probably get like 15, 20 hours out of the single player, but then a multiplayer only game and it's a big deal. You know what I mean? Oh, it's multiplayer only. I'm not buying that and shit like that. I mean, we see it going on right now with like Rainbow Six Siege. You know what I mean? I mean, if you like the multiplayer for Rainbow Six Siege, then you're probably going to get far more hours out of that than you would have any single player. Besides the exception of the Bethesda games and maybe like The Witcher 3 or maybe like an RPG. But those are like, you know, few and far in between. You understand what I'm saying? For the most part, a lot of these single player games don't be that long. And I damn sure get way more time out of multiplayer than I do single player. Even if I fucking love single player. You understand what I'm saying? Even when I look at like, you know, my top 5 list, all the games were single player except one. I ain't gonna spoil it if you ain't see it, but all the games were a single player except one. I mean, one other one did have a bullshit ass multiplayer, but at the end of the day, I'm probably gonna have more hours on that multiplayer game than I am out of the other 4 single player games. Easy. You feel what I'm saying? Easy. So if anything, I think a multiplayer only game is worth way more than 60 compared to a single player only game. And I'm just saying if you like the multiplayer. Because if you like the multiplayer, then obviously you're going to invest a lot of time in it. And even if you do like the single player, I mean, how much can you play? You know what I mean? How much Batman Arkham Knight can you play? You know, how much Rise of the Tomb Raider can you play? How much Bloodborne can you fucking play? How many hours can you get out of that before you're like, all right, I done did this shit a bunch of times already. You understand what I'm saying? So I really don't get it. So, let me know down in the comment section, why is it okay for a single-player only game to be $60, but not a multiplayer only game? I really don't get that. You understand what I'm saying? I think, me personally, I always get way more time out of multiplayer than any single player. Even if I fucking love the single player, you only can play it but so many goddamn times. You feel what I'm saying? So, let me know down in the comments section how y'all feel about, single player only versus multiplayer only at the same price, $60. I mean, I see it all the time. They be like, multiplayer only? Oh, hell no. $60? No, that's too much. Single player only, Rise of the Tomb Raider, I ain't hear nobody complaining about that. And that's not a long game. Not a long game at all. You know what I mean? It could be the single player could be fucking amazing. But how many hours are you going to actually get out of that single player? You know what I mean? Compared to a multiplayer game that you really like. Let me know down in the comments section. It's your boy Hard8. If you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. But whatever you do, busy yourself, nigga. Busy yourself. It's your boy Hard8. I'm done.